Hi, everybody. Welcome to Cub Chat Live. My name's Aaron, but the real star of the show is this young lady next to me. Tamara, how are you doing today?
I'm doing great. So always so good to be with you, Aaron.
It's always so good to be with you as well. Shout out to the folks who are already chiming in the comments. I love the people who just comment before we even go live. Patricia, good to see you. Douglas, Wendy, Brian, Ben, thanks so much for joining today. Appreciate it. It is December 6th, the holiday. I can't believe it. It's already holiday season, Tamara. It's crazy. And the topic today is appropriate for the holidays. We're talking about the Family Reverence Adventures. If you don't know what that means, you're in the right place. We're going to tell you all about it. If you do know what that means, you're still in the right place because we're going to talk about how you can incorporate family reverence adventures into your pack meetings if you want to, your den meetings. Maybe it's something you do at home with your families. Tamara, to start us off, just tell us overall, what are the family reverence adventures? What are we talking about? What does this mean?
Oh, first of all, I'm excited. I'm excited to be here talking about
As
this.
am I.
And I wanted to say belated happy Thanksgiving to everyone.
Yes. Thank you. Good.
I am so grateful for our leaders. They're the ones that bring the magic of Cub Scouts to all the kids across the nation. And I am so excited about that. And I am so grateful for you. I see you. You guys are great. You're awesome. You rock. Thank you so much. So we're talking about family reverence adventures today. And so I know in the past, in our pack too, we would dole those out as homework for our families. And if you do that, that's awesome. You can totally do the family reverent adventures that way. Completely appropriate. We're not going to talk about that today, are we, Aaron? No.
That's exactly right.
We're going to talk about the harder way, maybe, to do this, but maybe the most meaningful adventure you could do at a pack meeting, I think, could be this one. So I'm excited because I'm going to ask for a lot of audience participation today because these are hard. These are things that people, our packs haven't really gone through these yet. So we don't have a ton of things out there to share. I have some, but not a ton. So I'm looking forward to people's ideas on this.
Yes, that'll be awesome. And so the Family Reverence Adventures are one of the required adventures. There is a version of the adventure across all the ranks in Cub Scouts. They are tweaked a little bit different, as age appropriate from kindergarten all the way up to fifth grade, right? So obviously the fifth graders are asked to do maybe a little bit more, right? A little more introspection, go into a little more detail. Francie Lewis says their pack just did theirs at home, I think. But we got a lot of people chiming in the comments. Somebody else here in the comments, if I can go back and find it real quick, said they did theirs at home as well. There's Brian. Yes, thank you very much. Shout out to Eugene and Rob and Steve and Rusty. Good to see all the familiar names along with some of the new names today. Thank you all for joining us. Tamara, I know we're going to talk about, again, like we said, Family Reverence Adventures. We're also going to talk about the Religious Emblems program, which can be used kind of in conjunction, right? Just where do we start, Tamara?
Absolutely. So the first slide I have for you talks about the Religious Emblems program. This is a partnership with Scouting America. I've given you the website right there, praypub.org. I also, at the end of this presentation, there's a whole series of links. So it gives you a brochure, it gives you this chart, it gives you like a nice presentation that you could do for your den. And what these are their age appropriate opportunities to learn about different faiths. So for example, our son did the Protestant version of this, and it's broken up for the Protestant emblem. It's broken up kindergarten, first grade, second grade, third grade, fourth and fifth grade. So they've got 2 grade levels per, right? So if he earned it as a wolf, then he would earn the adventure for family reverence as a wolf. And he would also earn it as a bear because it covers those 2 years. It's a very cool opportunity. Our whole den, like we offered it for our den, and we had over half of our den did it. It was a really great option, and it's just really great material.
Yeah, for those of you who don't know, www.praypub.org, as you can see on the screen, you can go to get more information on that. Brian says in the comments, shout out to the religious emblem programs too. Brian says, beat you to it, Aaron. Brian, we're gonna have to go back and review the timestamp to see if you really, I'm not sure if you really, I'll take your word. A scout is honest. So I think Brian's probably being honest. He actually posted that before I even said it. Good job, Brian.
Brian on the ball.
Yes, exactly. Good job, Brian. And the Religious Emblems program is done in conjunction with a bunch of different, there's a lot. I'm not sure how many there are with tons of different religions, and those churches manage that program and sort of set that curriculum and publish the booklets that you use to do that stuff. Contact your council or your local religious leader for information on that. I think, Tamara, is probably the best week advice.
Absolutely. Some councils have really deep and diverse kinds of committees on various religious emblems. Some do not. Some just maybe have a religious emblems committee, and that's fine too. So you can contact your council, see what they're doing, and if they don't have a program set in place for the faith that you're looking to do, then you can reach out to your local religious leader and see if they can lead you through it. It's a great program.
Yes, it's very, very cool. We got a lot of folks watching, Tamara, a lot of comments. Eugene, Rob has done something very appropriate. He has tagged some friends in his comments. Shout out to Heather. Let's see, a serendipitous life says we have our Cubs making a poster board with their family tree and pictures of our holiday traditions. Yes, that's part of their requirements. That's great. Yes. Shout out to Troop 391 from California. Good to see you. I want to share a comment that Ben, who's watching on YouTube, says he's a little bit nervous to do a meeting on this topic. Ben, you've come to the right place. That's kind of why we're here to talk about this, right, Tamara?
Absolutely, Ben. So I so appreciate you sharing that.
Yeah, totally.
I was telling Aaron before this, people were saying, oh, wow, you're having to do this on Cub Chat Live. This is really tricky. And so, Ben, I appreciate your trepidation.
Yes, exactly. You know, by the way, just as a little plug here, we're going to have a blog post up on this topic next week. And when I was doing this blog post, I came across some official language, Scouting America issues about always being respectful of everyone's religion, right? The organization is, what's the word? Non-sectarian, I think is the word. I might be saying that a little bit wrong, right? But what we encourage is a reverence to God, but you know, we respect all religions. You do it how you do it. That's totally fine. So that's part of what we're here to talk about, Ben.
Absolutely. So the first thing I would do before I dive into the requirements would be, I would find out what faiths are currently in your pack. The only way you can make sure that you're being respectful of other people's faiths is by understanding that they're there. Because sometimes when we're going in a pack, we're thinking, oh, well, everyone's the same faith as me. So clearly I could do Christmas trees and whatever, and that would be okay, but it might not be. So we just need to make sure we understand everyone's faith. And faith is important to understand for other reasons, right, Aaron? Because when you're doing your program planning conference at the beginning of the year and you're laying out your calendar, one of the first things you have to do is put your religious holidays on there. Which religious holidays do you include? The ones are the ones in your pack, right? And you want to be respectful to everyone's religion. So that's really important. Also on campouts, it becomes really obvious when people have food and dietary needs, you need to understand that. They may be faith-based. They may need to leave because they need to go to a religious service. So you need to know that. So understanding people's faith is important. And most people are very glad to share that with you because they realize that you're trying to be respectful of their beliefs. So, all right. So then the next thing, I'm sorry, Gina, I'm like making Gina work today. So.
We're going to, Gina's subbing for behind the scenes Brian today, who's taking a well-deserved PTO. We're going to make life as difficult as we can on her, Tamara. I 100% support you on that. So yeah, which slide are we doing next, Tamara?
That's awesome. So the next slide is if you've been with me before, we always want to lay all of the requirements out across all the ranks. And my friend, Bobby Galeza, he's a rock star. He's from Great Falls Council. He did this in May. I'm still using his material now. He's hoping for a royalty at some point for all the stuff that people are doing. I've included the link for this. It's in the back of this deck. So when you get the deck and you want to have Bobby's, and he's got all of this stuff up. So I usually print Bobby's stuff out because I'm kind of old school. And I try to group like things together. So there's a couple things that stand out in this. And as we go through, you'll see like there's a kindness moment, there's a craft moment, there's attend a religious service moment. So this actually lays out really nice to do as a group, as a den or a pack. So let me show you how we can do that without making people nervous.
Yep. And real quick, by the way, Brian asks, is the duty to God AOL adventure earned by the religious emblem too? I think maybe we kind of mentioned that if you do the religious emblem, then you are covered the duty to God adventure, right, Tamara?
Yeah, so it's interesting on that one. It doesn't say that on this sheet. So I do want to go back and look at that, Brian, because that is I see that on here in the requirements, it's not, and I don't have my AOL book right handy, but can we get back to you, Brian?
Okay.
I think
Yep.
Brian's a frequent flyer, and I love
Yes,
that.
he is. And yeah, Brian, tune into the Aaron on Scouting blog. Next week, we will have more details on this. So definitely stay tuned.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah,
Thank you.
that's a great thing. Okay.
Yes.
So if we and one thing you're going to want to think about is when you want to do this. So I guess by audience, how many of you haven't done the Family Reverence Adventures in your pack? Because when I look at I can tell how many people are going on the website and looking at the different activities. And I don't see a lot, but it could be because most of our packs are still kind of putting this off as homework for the families, which is totally fine.
Yep.
So that may be it. So all right. So I would think about what time of the year are we going to do this? So if we were rolling into Thanksgiving, like Thanksgiving might be a good one because it's not, we don't step on any toes around Thanksgiving, right? For Thanksgiving as a holiday. And it's a celebration. Most families celebrate it. So that one would be kind of a nice, easy one. The other one that's coming up is Valentine's Day. Another one that could be something where you could do cards and you could do stuff for different people. And this would be appropriate. And it wouldn't be stepping on a religious holiday. And making people feel like, oh, I might be doing something wrong. I'm not done yet. Winter homework. Okay, good, Steve. Thank you for sharing. Okay, mostly
Brian says the same thing. Yep. Oh, a couple of them did it last night. Very good.
Nice. So we got experts experts.
Yep.
Perfect.
So they have most of them. It seems like either haven't done it yet or just about to do it. Tamara.
Perfect. Did ours before Veterans Day. Awesome. Love the Veterans Day.
Nice. Yeah. Very good, Heather.
Love that. Again, not stepping on anything necessarily faith-based, right? But definitely something that's nice, something that we can celebrate, and that's very appropriate. So as we move into the next slide, we talk about the things that maybe we wouldn't be able to do in this particular PAC meeting. So the first one is to attend a religious service or other gathering that shows how your family expresses reverence. So you could indeed do that as homework. And I would always offer that up. Again, if families feel more comfortable doing these things as homework, then of course, let them do that. This one could be done at Scout Sunday though, especially a lot of our PACs are sponsored by a religious organization. Oops. Gina's ready to go. She's like, let's go. So you could do this at Scout Sabbath, Scout Sunday, and go as a group. I know our PAC did that and it was really meaningful. And that was very exciting to have everybody together and do that. Your AOL DUNs are going to need to do requirement 1, which is discuss with their parents or legal guardians, their family's faith traditions, or one of your choosing, and choose a view or value that the faith tradition that's related to the Scout law, and discuss how each family member demonstrates this value. And then I'm asking the Cub Master to invite a representative of a faith-based organization who assists people in crises and ask them to speak to your PAC meeting about who they help and how. So those are the only things we have to do outside of the meeting. And then as we roll into our PAC planning agenda, which is the next slide, you'll see, and you know me, Aaron, I think I did this with Gina last time. I always bring bonus materials because I feel like if I'm going to do Cub Chat Live and everyone's going to come on and hang out with us for 30 minutes, that I should give them gifts. So this is what our team does. And so I've got Tree of Reverence here for you as a gift, as a bonus material. So we'll go through that. No, not yet. I'll go through the whole thing. The flag ceremony, we've got Cub Master opening remarks. Let me talk a little bit about the Cub Master opening remarks and the Cub Master minute and why tying that together with whatever you're doing is so important. So we know from data that people come to Cub Scouts because we checkbox a lot of the things, or maybe all of the things that they want in a youth serving organization. But in the chaos of a meeting, sometimes it's not obvious how we're delivering that. We're delivering the promise of scouting back to our families. So by helping them understand what we're covering at the beginning and then kind of encapsulating that at the end, it helps people understand what we're doing, why we're doing it, and helps them understand that we are delivering on kind of the things that they want in a program. So then the guest speaker, and then I divide into stations. We've talked about this before. So the way that the timing of this works is the first 15 minutes is a gathering kind of opening moment. The last 15 minutes is sort of the award presentation and the closing. And then we've got about an hour for program in a variety of stations. And I think if we've talked about this before, Aaron, you use this too, right? Where you find if we rotate through stations, kids don't get so bored and leaders don't get so tired. Like it's just a better deal.
Yep, for sure.
Okay, so we kind of divide that into 4 different stations. And then we end it with a Family Reverence Award presentation, remembering that Cub Scouts should be immediately recognized when they earn stuff. So even if you had a bag of stuff that maybe they went to like some council district events, they got patches, they had some other stuff, you could still do the presentation about tonight when they're getting their Family Reverence belt loops. And you could talk about what they earned and why that was important, and then hand them the bag of the other stuff too. I would encourage you to speak about the religious emblem program, because a lot of families will be super excited about that. And then I would close it with a Family Reverence Cub Master Minute, and then maybe a song, and retire the colors. Sound good, Aaron?
That sounds great. And by the way, we've got both Jason and Rob are posting some good information in the comments about advancement notes that they got from Scoutbook. Thank you guys for doing that. Appreciate it. Brian chimes in and says there isn't anything else like it, talking about the Cub Scout program. No sports or church programs or childcare options are like it. Brian's talking about the Cub Scout program in general. Yes, Brian, thank you.
Brian, totally agree. You could be our spokesmodel, right?
Totally, yes.
Okay, so then we're going to roll into the rest. Okay, so this is the first of the bonus materials for you. We created this Family Reverence gathering activity, remembering people come early, people come late. It's always good to have a gathering activity. It includes some leaves. What you're going to do is you're going to make a tree either on a table, right? Or you put a tree on your wall. And then families are going to come in and they're going to be asked the prompt, what does reverence mean to you? How do you show reverence? What are you grateful for? Just some different questions, especially, obviously smaller, younger children might be more appropriate to say, what's your favorite holiday, celebration? What's the favorite thing you do as a family? And so you can put those on there. And then it becomes this really, really cool wall sort of gratitude, of reverence. And it's a really neat tribute to this particular belt loop and adventure. So I've got the directions. I've got the leaves for you.
Yep. And Gina just posted in the comments a link to the PDF that is shown here. You guys can click that and download it, print it.
And it has all the stuff. I think it has all the stuff. It has this and everything else I'm going to throw in for bonus materials. Don't look ahead though. Keep with us. Don't go over to
yes. Click on that link, bookmark it, but save that for later. Exactly.
I'm just kidding. Okay, so then we roll into the next thing, which is our flag ceremony. Just wanted to point out, I've been on the National Cub Scout Committee for many years, and it's amazing to me. I find new material all the time. So I wanted to make sure everyone knows that there's a Cub Scout. This is for Den specifically, flag ceremony, but you could easily make this flag ceremony a pack flag ceremony just by adding in a flag stand for each of these instead of your Cub Scout. So I would take a look at that. It's like a minute. It's very short. So I would highly recommend, if you didn't know that this was here, I just wanted to share this with you. All right. So that's our flag ceremony.
Very cool.
Hello, Kim from the Big Apple. Woot. Okay. So then we've got, we're going to have a Cub Master opening. I've got that in the file that Gina put a link to as well. It's going to talk about why we're doing reverence and how important that is in scouting. Then we're going to roll into the speaker. So I guess this is a good time for us to brainstorm. So we have to have a speaker that's a faith-based organization who provides service that assists people in crises regardless of their faith. So we had suggested Salvation Army, local church leaders, community food bank representatives, and Red Cross. Anybody else have any other good ideas of people we could ask?
Yeah, this is a great brainstorming and a great question for our viewers to get, who could you get to be a speaker, representative from a faith-based organization who provides a service that assists people in crisis, regardless of their faith. That's an important distinction, right? So the person might be representing a specific church or place of religion, but they serve everyone. They don't only serve the people in their church. Yeah. I know some folks who have volunteered for a church food drive, for example.
Yeah.
But obviously the food drive is not just for members of the church, right? The food drive is for everyone.
I love that.
Someone
So
like
I
that.
think there's some really great ideas in there. And that's a really Catholic Charities, an excellent idea.
Yep.
Yeah, there's so many great people in the community that provide these kinds of services and support. And it's really great for our Cub Scouts to hear how those people are making such a great impact on other people's lives, regardless of faith or commonality in faith. So we're going to roll into our stations. So I wanted to make you aware, and I know you guys, because you're so on the ball, you're so amazing. You guys already know about the Den Meeting resources, and I so appreciate the fact that you go in and help other people find them, because we have over 1,200 activities posted in the Den Meeting resources. So when people go, I can't find an activity for tiger circles, and then I'm like, well, there are some up there. It's just you just didn't know that they were there. So on this one, we talk about crafts. The requirement for the Lions, they have to draw a picture of their favorite family, faith, tradition, holiday, or celebration. That's in Lion book, page 12. Now, are the Lions going to all bring their books to your pack meeting? Probably not. If they were like my Lions, no, they weren't. So I always have 8.5 by 11 blank paper. I said crayons. Somebody was telling me last night that colored pencils are always better because crayons melt and markers dry up, but colored pencils are forever. So it's whatever your pack thinks is the best answer. I would have the Tigers do this one too. And then your wolf through AOL, they need to make a craft or work of art of their favorite faith tradition. The AOLs don't have this requirement specifically, but there's no reason why they shouldn't do this too. So this is where people get, a little nervous, because if you pick ornament and you're not all Christian, then maybe that's not appropriate. Now, I have a lot of Hindu and Buddhist friends and Jewish friends that have a Christmas tree. Does that mean that every one of those faiths do that as well? No. And that's why you need to know the faith, and you need to, when you come up with a plan, I always like to run it by some people to make sure that it's going to be appropriate for them. Yep. So some of the ones that are up there, Mosaic and Suncatcher, those are ones that you could put out and come up with a couple different designs. Those would be appropriate for whatever faith you have. Obviously, if you choose to do this before Valentine's Day and you guys do hearts, like that's going to be totally fine, right? Or Thanksgiving or Veterans Day. But there's all of these, look at this. There's 3, usually 2 or 3 per level that you could select. All of these would be appropriate, right? So I also saw, building gingerbread houses, baking cookies, baking whatever treat your family celebrations include might be nice. There's lots of different ideas. Maybe you guys have some good ideas for crafts as well. So if you do, throw them in the comments. Always
absolutely
good ideas.
We love your ideas. Yes,
I know, and I'm excited because we got so many good ideas. Now, remember that we're rolling into December, and there's a lot of our packs who are posting now who are celebrating Christmas. So I did pull some of their ideas because they're fantastic, and I thought other people would like to see them. So I think those are on the next slides.
There we go.
Oh, how cute are these? I mean, oh my goodness. So Jennifer Merriman, her pack, and it's actually 3062. I apologize for that. Look at these cute little baseball snowmen. So if you didn't want it to be Santa, you could just take the little coat off and you could give him a scarf, right? He's just so cute. And then the button snowman I thought was adorable. And then Lisa Ryan, pack 159 in Atco, New Jersey. Look at these cute wreaths. I think actually Lisa's pack actually sells those little button snowmen and the wreaths for like a little holiday sale, which is
how nice is that? Yeah,
I know, right?
2 birds with 1 stone, right?
Who wouldn't want one of those wreaths? I was ready to drive to New Jersey to go grab one of those for myself. But just some great ideas. The next one is Ashley Wineland, pack 161. Look at how cute that little s'more ornament is. She did that with felt and a cotton ball, and then she has a little piece of like a brown that styrofoam, I can't remember what they call it. You know what I mean? That flexible styrofoam stuff. Yeah. It's so cute. And I love, I'm so sorry. I'm not going to mispronounce her name. Nyana Miller. Look at how cute the Scout Law is. And I think it's more adorable because her Scout wrote this out. Like, that's great. It looks right. I love that.
That's great.
And then Nicole Thompson, pack 182 in Reddington, New Jersey. she did this like little cute little wolf and used that. I've also seen another play on this where it's clear and they have a long strip, and they measure the child, and then they put that strip that's the same length as their child, the height as their child, and they put it inside the ornament as a way to remember how tall that child was when they were a wolf. I thought that was super cute as well.
That is very cute. Yes.
Heather Miller, I want to hang out with her because look at all the cute things they did.
Yeah,
I want to hang out with lots of people, Aaron.
Heather's a superstar. Yeah, that's very cool.
Heather is a superstar from Pack 45 and Van Buren, Arkansas. Look at this. And so some of these obviously are, Christmas tree and Christmas stuff, but look at the ones with using the beads. Like you could do almost anything with those. And I feel any kind of an emblem with that. And look how cute those turned out. I think they're super cute. And I love the paracord Christmas trees. And these are all for different levels in the program. So I think she had her younger scouts do the ones where you're tying the ribbon onto the pipe cleaner, which is very appropriate for what their skill level would be at that point. So I think that's really, really cute. And then next we have, so Heather Morris from Pack 49, Golden State Empire Council, Yolanda District. Look at how cute these all houses are. So I think that's a super cute way. And people probably, my kids always ate more, I think, than they put on the houses, but that was part of the fun. And then they actually had a photo booth. So even if you didn't, I think photo booths and stuff like that are so cute. Parents love that kind of stuff. And even if you did it for Valentine's Day or for Thanksgiving, that's still a really cute idea. So, all right.
Ethan says that they did cut out snowflakes, or at least that's his idea for a good project. That's a great idea. Ethan Bryan says he loves that wreath. Veronica asked where are these resources. Veronica, I think we want to direct them to the Cub Scout Adventures website. Is that right, Tamara?
Right. So those, now the one, is she talking about the ideas, the craft ideas? These are off of a Facebook group, that the Cub Scout Volunteers group or Cub Scout Tricks and Tips group. Okay. So I just was pulling these ideas from different people.
Veronica, these ideas were pulled from people to push them online. Thank you, Gina, for posting the link there. Veronica, that's the link to Cub Scout leader resources there. Our volunteers are so great. They always amaze me with their cool, creative ideas.
Yeah. And I hope a bunch of them were planning to come on today. So if there's something in particular you were hoping to see, if you pop it in there, then maybe one of them will see it and give us those instructions. That would be awesome.
Yep.
Okay. So next up, we're into game ideas. Now, this is the one that stumps people. What game do you play that would be a good one for family reverence at a pack or den meeting? And that's just hard, right? It makes you think, wow, I don't know. So this is something Heather Morris also did, because I think we should go to her event next year, Erin, because Heather seems like they had a really, really amazing event between the crafts and then these games, candy cane relays. If you didn't think candy cane relays was your bag, some other people thought, maybe you could do create a river and then you put a couple of like bases, like something that's kind of durable, and you try to get the Cub Scouts to all cross the river, but they all have to use they have to stand on the couple of little plates that, depending on how many Cub Scouts are crossing the river, you put them in front of each other and you have to work as a team to get there, and we don't leave anyone behind, and everyone's important on the team, and those kind of messages. The other one we thought of, and I was going to try to make it up, but I just ran out of time, was creating, one thing about faith, which is really cool, is that most of our faiths have the golden rule at the center of every religion. So when you think about that, they have their own version, but it's the same kind of principle. And being able to teach that to Cub Scouts is really valuable, I think. And that's where, when we lean into the faith part, I think that's where the real learning and the education can come. And so if you had a concentration game or a relay game where you had a card and you had to match it to the particular version of the golden rule they have, maybe something like that may work. What other ideas do you guys have for good games that we could do for this?
Yeah, as we move forward with the presentation, guys, feel free to share in the comments your ideas for games for this adventure. This is great stuff, Tamara.
Awesome. So then we get to kindness. There's a couple of things that we need to cover that we didn't cover. So kindness, for For tigers, they're just supposed to do a note of kindness, a kindness at home, kindness at school. These are the things in the den meeting resource ideas. Wolf, there's a kindness jar that has chores, sing to the elderly. Bears, a kindness jar that has nice words. So you say all these nice words about Aaron, for example. And then when Aaron's having a bad day, or maybe he misses you, he could pull these words out and remind it how awesome he is. There's make a friend, thank a teacher. I've seen some really cute ones where they thank a teacher and they get like dollar store containers and they have their pack sticker and they say the pack number and the pack and the little Cub Scout logo and thank you. And then the kid writes a thank you card. And guess what? The teacher puts that on their desk and then it's kind of a really good advertisement for your pack, right? That you've got this in front of their
That's a great idea. Yeah, totally. Yeah. That's very cool. Yeah.
So Webelos clean up dishes, help a family member with the chore, and help a neighbor. These are all up there for you guys to use if that helps you. So then this is the bonus materials that I'm bringing to you. My friend Lindsay is so stinking creative and awesome. And so when I told her about what we were going to do today, she came up with these cards. So these are cards. There's boy and girl for each level. So may your days be happy and bright. Thank you, veterans. We appreciate your service. Or happy Valentine's Day. So these cards can be printed out and colored by your Cub Scouts, and then you can give them to different people.
And these are included in the link that Gina so hopefully posted in the comments. Just scroll up in the comments on whatever channel you're watching, and you'll find the link to those cards, among other things.
So then we've got the last of the stuff is the reverence, the miscellaneous reverence requirements that are left. So one is listen to A Boy Who Cried Wolf. That also is up in the den meeting resources under Wolf Footsteps. So there's a big copy printed that you can print out and take with you or read on your phone. There's also for Bear and Webelos, Bear 4 and Webelos 3, it's identifying a religion or faith that's different from your own and identify 2 things that it has in common with your family's beliefs. So that can be hard if you don't know a lot. I mean, like, I don't know that I knew a lot about a lot of different faiths, but so we've given you kind of a smattering of them. So the first thing that you can say that's common is the golden rule, because it's across all of it in its own version. And then you can pick other things that might be common between your faith and another person's faith. And then the AOL, discuss what duty to God means to you and tell how you practice duty to God in your daily life. Then we roll in to the end. So this is our Family Reverence Adventure presentation. That's included in the bonus materials file that Gina so nicely posted for you. And it has every rank. And let me just say one thing about this. So I know that some of you have small packs. And when you have a small pack and you're doing an awards presentation, it's really easy just to go shake every Scout's hand and give them their stuff and be good with that. When you have a large pack and it takes 20, 30 minutes to get through everybody, that's a lot for the kids to sit through and it's a lot for the parents to sit through. So again, I suggest is put all the advancements on a table by rank, call up the entire rank, the whole den, and a parent, and have the parent present their child with the belt loop. And then that's going to help speed up your process a little bit. And so you can be creative still with, I know some of our advanced materials are unbelievably creative. So you can still be super creative with some of the things you do. Just be cognizant that sometimes some of it takes a long time. And if you're doing a pack meeting where it's full and you've got a lot on the agenda, having a really long awards presentation it may not be the best. Okay. So then we're going to do a song next. There's lots of songs you could choose. I think Kumbaya is the one I immediately think of because it's a nice range. Most people can sing it. It's easy words. This is Scout Vespers. So I picked this because it's in Cub Scout Songbook. And if you already have invested in that songbook, it's on page 80. The other place is that I want to point out this free resource, soundcloud.com. It has the whole Cub Scout Soundbook is up there. And the guy's a really good singer. So if singing is not your bag, you may want to just play this on a speaker. I'm just saying, and then sing along with it. So I know that takes the pressure off of people who feel like they don't sing the best and don't really want to sing in front of a large crowd. So, but it's a good song. Scout Vespers is a good song. Then I'd roll into the Cub Master Minute. And again, I've included this Cub Master Minute in the bonus materials. so that you'll have it. And it kind of ties everything together, the whole family reverence moment. And then the last page, last but not least, is resources to check out. This is the multi-rank den guide, which is this thing that I originally put up there, has all of the ranks, all of the adventures that go across ranks. We've got the den meeting resources, the Cub Scout den meeting resources, and then the songbook, the religious emblem program, the brochure, the program script, and the program. There's also a PowerPoint presentation. I mean, they have everything up there. And then these are some Facebook groups that I'm constantly hawking. And I see you guys, you're in there too. I recognize your names in those Facebook groups, but Cub Scout Tips and Tricks, the Cub Scout Volunteers group, and Cub Scout Leaders, Scouting Cub Masters and Den Leaders. And I know we're running 7 minutes over, as we are like to do sometimes. But we have such good audience participation, right?
We can't help it. Exactly. Yeah.
I was wondering, are there other topics? Are there other topics we should be covering? And I know last time when we asked this question, we had someone pop in and they had some great ideas. And I think you have an email address that people could send something to us if they have an idea. What do you think?
Yeah, absolutely. And by the way, when Tamara and I log off here in just another minute or two, you can continue to post comments. We would love to hear future ideas. You can email me at, it's one word, onscouting@scouting.org. Send your ideas to me. Post them in the comments. We've posted some helpful links. And by the way, you can always go back and review this video. If there was something on the screen that you didn't quite catch, you can always go back and watch it again. If you're listening to us as a podcast, you can go online and just go to the part that you want to see. Tamara, this has been a great show. Certainly a timely show with it being December, but I love how you pointed out that, you don't necessarily have to do this in December. It sounds like a lot of our viewers do this in December, but you could do it for Thanksgiving. You could do it for Valentine's Day. You could do it for, I think, Veterans Day, we said, right, Tamara?
Yeah. And I think you could even do this in January and do it like an international fest. You could bring in if you have a diverse pack with a lot of different faiths, why not have them showcase their faiths? Why not have them come in and show them the food that they have during their favorite celebrations and really lean in to the diversity that your pack might have? Some really great growth opportunities can happen from learning about other faiths. Yeah. I think it's pretty amazing.
Yeah, it is. And that's a couple of the requirements for the older scouts is to learn about faiths other than their own, right? So that's a great way to handle that. Some of you, I know you mentioned in the comments, we appreciate it. You had maybe a little bit of anxiety, a little bit of trepidation about this adventure. Hopefully we've eased some of those today. Thank you all for watching. I appreciate it. Tamara, any final thoughts before we let you go?
No, tag people in the comments that you think might benefit from hearing some of this stuff. And if they've got great ideas, we'd love to hear it.
Absolutely. Keep those comments coming. We'll close with a comment from Ben. He says their troops and packs close all their meeting with Scout Vespers. Very, very cool, Ben. Thank you so much for watching today. Brian, Rob, everybody else who watched it. Thanks for all the helpful comments. We appreciate that very, very much. We'll be back next week. I'll be hosting yet again a very special episode. Tamara, you won't be here, but it's exciting.
Oh my gosh. I wish we could tell them, but I guess we can't tell them.
I don't think we're allowed to tell them yet, Tamara. I don't want to do it. I'm not going to do it. You can do it, but I'm not.
I'm not going to do it, but I got to tell you guys, you got to tune in next week.
Yeah.
Next week is like epic. You are not going to want to miss this. You're going to want to be the first people to hear. Next week is huge.
I will say that I was not really familiar. I didn't know we were doing this until recently. I was thrilled to hear about it, and I'm excited that it happens to fall on the date that I'm going to be hosting. And I've already said too much. I can't say anything more, Tamara.
I'm telling you, it's going to be big. I'm going to be there in the audience going, yay. Everybody needs to be there. Absolutely.
A week from today, same time, same channel. We look forward to seeing all you. Tamara, great job as usual. Thanks so much for your time today. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you all for watching. Gina behind the scenes really came through today. Good job, Gina.
Absolutely.
Appreciate you.
Thanks, Gina.
Yes, thank you, everybody. Enjoy the rest of your Friday. Have a good weekend. See you next week. Bye, everybody. See you.
Thanks for tuning in today. Be sure to catch next week's episode. Same time, same place. And let us know how we're doing at go.scoutingmagazine.org/rate Cub Chat. We love feedback and ideas for new episodes. And you can visit blog.scoutingmagazine.org/CubChatLive for all our past video episodes. You can see us live. Except it's recorded, but it was live. Okay, see you next week.